The State House of Assembly has warned against violating the resolutions of President Bola Tinubu's meeting with the members of the House and other stakeholders over the lingering political crisis in the state. The House held its first plenary session on Tuesday after last Friday's meeting with Tinubu in Abuja. At the end of the plenary, the Speaker of the Assembly, Olamide Oladiji, disclosed that as part of the resolutions reached at the meeting with the President, the Deputy Governor, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, was asked to write an undated resignation letter and submit it to the President. It was gathered that the letter might be activated if Aiyedatiwa contravenes any of the resolutions reached in the peace meeting with stakeholders from the state. According to the Speaker, there was no resolution reached to that effect that the Deputy Governor will be made acting governor, stressing that the status quo will remain. And of course, to discuss this, we are joined by Taiwo Ojumu, a lawyer and public affairs analyst. Thank you so much for your time, Taiwo.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, great. Now, what factors have contributed to the ongoing political crisis in Ondo State, and how significant is President Bola Tinubu's involvement in attempting to resolve the situation, as, of course, evidenced by the recent meeting with the State House of Assembly members?
All right, thank you very much. You will recall that the last time I was on this program, I think that was Saturday, I did mention that I don't think we have heard the last on this matter, despite the fact that President Bola Tinubu did a wedding on Friday. Yes, it is not strange, during the build-up days to major elections. Now, on those we have an election next year to determine who becomes the next governor, who succeeds Governor Aiyedatiwa. And so there are all manner of alliances, interests here and there. So these are some of the factors that will always contribute to issues like this, because I also understand, like I said during my last interview here, I said that many of those, the so-called cabal who are giving deputy governors some problems, are those we understand have interest in contesting. And so it is not strange. It's not strange. It's not strange. I mean, the meeting the president had with stakeholders last Friday. If you look at that meeting, if you look at the resolutions, it appears as though it favored more. I mean, favored the Akeredolu team. Faction more than that of deputy governor. Because if you are saying that the status quo should remain and that the deputy governor should remain deputy governor and not acting governor, I understand that what the faction of the deputy governor wants is to take charge, to act as governor. And so, since that was not the resolution reached at the meeting in Abuja on Friday, it's not strange that we are beginning to hear all manner of issues again.
All right. I would like to stay with you on this particular issue of resolution. Now, one of the, I call it items right now outlined is the fact that the deputy governor should sign or submit an undated resignation letter. Now, number one, is this even right in any way? And what events or actions, might activate activation of this resignation letter?
Yes. Thank you very much. As a lawyer, I will agree with you that it doesn't sound right for you to ask a deputy governor or anyone at that to sign an undated letter of resignation. But this is politics, and this is not the first time we are hearing this kind of thing. And the fact that it is strange. To further buttress the fact that it's a strange thing, that was why it was not made public. I believe it was an issue discussed behind closed doors at the meeting in Abuja. And that was why this issue of signing a letter that's undated was not part of what was discussed in public. Now, what issues can activate this? I think basically the essence of that letter, if it ever exists or if there was ever such resolution, would be to checkmate the SSCs, as it were, of the deputy governor, to ensure that it does not deviate or renege from the resolutions reached, that is to maintain the status quo. And so in the event that or in the likely or unlikely event that he reneges from the resolution reached at that meeting, they might just decide to activate that letter if such a letter exists.
Now, it appears there is some sort of conundrum here right now, I mean, within Ondo State. There's what the law says concerning situations like this, when the governor, is away for, some time, or when he doesn't have the capacity to, of course, lead the state. The law requires that the deputy, immediately takes up the helm of affairs. And right now we are seeing vis-a-vis an internal party issue that has sort of, will I call it, suspended in a way, the provisions of the Constitution. I mean, this is pretty much precarious in some way. What do you make of this two extremes?
Okay, yeah, the thing is, if you ask me, the provision of Section 289 of the Constitution regarding the issue of resignation on ground of incapacitation, I think the argument of those who are arguing for Mr. Governor is that the state of health of Mr. Governor is not such that it was emphasized by that provision, and as such, the issue of resignation cannot come up, because according to what we've been told, we understand that Mr. Governor still signs documents, still approves files, and so it cannot be said, according to the argument, that he is permanently incapacitated, because that was the words used by the Constitution, and that is the argument. But looking at it again, from the angle of the deputy governor, I mean, I don't see anything. I mean, the right thing to do is ordinarily is to hand over. I mean, is to hand over to the deputy governor to act in acting capacity. But whether or not the agreement reached or the resolutions reached in Abuja undermines the provision of the Constitution is another issue entirely. Because, like I said earlier, the argument is that the government is not incapacitated, and as such, the issue of resignation should not come to play. That is the argument, actually. So, yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.